I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume. So I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. I continue in the Gospels again, and while we've been in Galilee for most of the part, we've now returned to Jerusalem during another feast, which I think is the Feast of Tabernacles, which would be about 6 months after the Passover. And he's done some healing on the Sabbath. He has now declared himself Lord of the Sabbath, when the Jews got really mad at the disciples picking corn. We read about that in Luke and Matthew, and now we're going to read about it here in Mark. In this video, we have a Joseph Smith translation. Now, what the Joseph Smith translation is, this is a translation or correction done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that have been lost or corrupted over the years. This is Mark chapter 2, verses 23 through 28. And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? And he said unto them, Have ye never read what David did when he had need and was an hungered, he and they that were with him? How he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and did eat the shewbread which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Now this doesn't add anything new to the story, really. Now it does say, gives a little bit more on the historical commentary about David being in the days of Abiathar, but that doesn't really give us any more doctrinal information, say. Of course, the story of David is from when David was on the run from Saul, and Abiathar was assisting him. But there's nothing else to say there, so let us look at the Joseph Smith translation. So in verse 24, he changes they to thy disciples, minor update. In verse 5, at the last clause there, changes they that were with him to they who were with him. Again, minor grammatical correction. Verse 28, though, has something significant here. Verse 28 simply says, Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. But Joseph Smith restores this. Wherefore the Sabbath was given unto man for a day of rest, and also that man should glorify God, and not that man should not eat. For the Son of Man made the Sabbath day, therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Now there's some significant things there, and that Christ is now declaring that he is the institutor of the Sabbath. Remember, the Sabbath was originally instituted in the creation. God did his work in 6 days and rested on the seventh. That was the beginning of the Sabbath. He is declaring himself here to be the one who created everything. He's going back, not just back to Abraham or Moses, he's going back to the beginning of this. But he's also pointing out that the Sabbath is not a time to afflict ourselves, to suffer. It is a time to reach out to God, to rest from our worldly cares and worldly labors and glorify God. And I like that. That is a beautiful addition there, a beautiful restoration. I'm going to leave that here, and we will be continuing in individual Gospels as we move along, so I will see you there.